and co-author of the book Over My Left Shoulder called Spend Time and Save Money. What should we be doing on the internet? For openers, research. I do lots of stock research on the internet because letting my fingers do the walking saves me a great deal of time. Also, reaching out, communicating with people to ask questions, take tests, read surveys, find out what's shaking in terms of different parts of the world, particularly. This afternoon, I was on an I Love Marketing. Many of the people who were speaking there were actually in the Netherlands, all kidding aside. An amazing guy who works very hard on the internet with his team, spends most of his time on his dumb phone, his description, not mine, and has people who actually save him gazillions of guilders, I guess, in terms of doing things that he should not be taking the time to do, and it's a helpful hint to the rest of us. But in terms of the addiction associated with online stuff, it's amazing to me. If I waste any time doing that, I think to myself, while I'm doing it, what in the slack am I doing with my time in my life? It's much better to actually be where my feet are. Now, we go to lots of webinars, been to 2 today, no kidding. One on attitudinal adjustments in terms of what's going on in the pandemic, in terms of reaching out to folks, taking care of ourselves like our life depends on it, talking to some clients about some situations in their lives, talking to Joe Polish about something in terms of his situation, in terms of, boy, when you have a shaved head, you can easily bump it. In terms of helpful hints for today, when you're on the internet, especially if you're in business, be working on the internet. In other words, be reaching out to folks in terms of folks that you're actually helping, or folks you'd like to help in the future, or ask specific questions in terms of what it is you can find out. If you have some folks doing some research for a blog in upstate New York, reach out to them, tell them a funny story about upstate New York when you were earlier in your life, and see if that would be a help to that particular person. If you have another friend who is up in Canada, goes back and forth between Canada and Scottsdale, and holds the world's record, it would seem like, in terms of self-quarantining, because every time you go from Scottsdale, Arizona, back to Canada, you get to spend 14 days in self-quarantine, which does not sound like a good time to me unless you're doing a lot of research. And research, in my mind, is not watching a bunch of stuff on Netflix or Prime Video or whatever kind of streaming waste of time services that you have. It would be a fantastic time to really bone up on things that you're researching, practice piano chords, practice some piano patterns, in my case, read some more music, get better acquainted with what those notes actually mean, how they sound, how they relate to each other. And the same can be said in terms of investments. Find out what the trends are, what looks like it's happening next, whether it's artificial intelligence, advancements in medicine, or more importantly, advancements in people learning how to take in air properly, learning how to take in food properly, learning how to take in information in terms of what gives you joy in your life, what sucks the life right out of it, what produces angst, and what you can do to avoid that angst unless you're building muscle by doing resistance exercise. You'll have fun. Be well. Look forward to seeing you soon. I'm sorry I talked for 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Holy cow.